afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my beautiful co-stars Judy Loge and Veronique Arsenault. Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
The sun is shining
It is.
And it's not snowing.
No, until
We're not going to get.
currently.
True, we might get a little, but I'm under the impression the last word via Facebook and all the other like proper news out there, it's going to miss us.
A little bit.
It's going to miss us.
2 to 4.
God willing. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us today. We have a great show lined up for you today. A couple of fantastic, interesting guests that you're not going to want to miss. But first, we're going to start off our show like we do. And we're going to start off with a positive quote. And I believe I was up.
You're up? And it's
I'm up. And I chose one from a very popular fellow from way, way, way back when. Winston Churchill. I came across this last evening.
Yeah.
And as soon as I read it, it just spoke to me. And it's very short and sweet, but it's so simple.
Okay, but I loved it. I got a quick peek and I love it.
Yes. So Winston Churchill is quoted as saying, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." And it truly is in every single aspect of life. It's the courage to continue that really, really counts, as opposed to, you know, the actual success or failure of it.
And I think you have to look for the knowledge instead of the results.
Yes. Yeah.
And the other thing I think to be successful is, this is going to sound really weird, but I think you have to start picking yourself apart. Not, I know we should love ourselves. That's all good and well, but to really be all that you can be, start picking out your faults, your flaws, and work on them.
Well, the thing is the other few little quotes that sort of went along with this one was, you have to be able to accept compliments with the criticism.
Of course.
Right? That's what makes it whole. And in order for a flower to grow, it doesn't just need the sun, it needs the rain as well.
Right, that's right.
Right?
And Dad has always said to me, don't believe your press clippings, whether they be good or bad.
Believe in yourself.
No.
Because they will change. Right?
Exactly.
You could be a hero in the newspaper one day, and the worst villain in the newspaper the next day. Or like in
on
life,
Facebook.
right? Yeah, like you know, in life. You're talking to somebody one day and they love you, the next day they don't love you anymore.
No.
So he said, never believe your own press clippings.
To be successful, you can't just rely on yourself either.
No.
You can't,
No.
You can't rely on just others. You know what I'm saying? You can't rely on just other people telling you what to do. It's that you can't. You have to rely on them.
Your success
somewhat,
and your
but
happiness,
yourself too.
is not, it doesn't come from them.
That's
it comes from you, from within.
Yeah.
Truly, it does. So that's my quote.
Yeah.
Sorry that sort of got a little deep.
No, it's all good. It's funny. I was looking at the three of us as we sit here together. Judy and I glow in the dark. We're so pale. And then you've got Audrey with this beautiful,
Your little
healthy tan.
Latino princess going on from my spray tan over the weekend.
Yes,
Even though I've showered 3
congratulations.
times, I'm still wearing a bit of my tan.
So
Yes, definitely.
successful weekend.
Tell everybody what happened this weekend.
This weekend, I actually competed in the Atlantics Classics in Moncton, and it was actually a big deal for me because everyone knows I had competed last year in Fredericton and St. John in a bikini division, and I actually changed from that division to figure.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was all brand new again. The nerves and it was just but it was so much fun and so exhilarating, and the girls all backstage, even though they're our competitors, we just became one, and we just kept boosting each other up, and we could all tell who was nervous and who needed a little push or a pat on the back, and you've got this. And
You're good at that
I'd have
too.
to say there was 8 athletes that came from Miramichi.
Oh, wow.
And every single one of us brought home hardware.
Yes.
We
Good
really
on your
did.
machine.
We really did. And I wanted to give a shout out to my girlfriend and confidant, Ann Tozer.
And
She did absolutely amazing. She had done the transformation, My Hero transformation, and she blew it out of the water.
Great.
She won it all as far as that went, and
did a great
kudos
job.
to her. She was terrified to go on stage. She really was, and I'm like, look at all this hard work. You get out there and you own that.
Yeah.
And the support,
sure.
the quote is, you support one another. You can't just
Yes.
rely on yourself. You need other people to bring you up.
No, exactly. That's
That's
just it. So that's what we did on the weekend.
Congratulations,
Yes,
Audrey.
Thank you
Kudos
so much.
once again.
Thank you.
Hard
Thank
work
you.
paid off.
I know,
It
we're
was.
very proud of you.
And if you're noticing, I don't know about the color on your television set, because ours is way off, but we are wearing shades of green
We are.
today.
We are.
And we're doing that for a reason. It is actually Green Shirt Day. It's the anniversary of the Humboldt Broncos. tragic accident last year on April 6th. So that's why we're wearing this today.
Yeah, and it's the green shirt is in honor of Logan Boulay, who was an organ donor and saved, I believe, 8 lives with his donation. So today is Green Shirt Day across the country in honor of that. And green is the color of the ribbon for Organ Donation Month. Okay. And so, so we're all in a shade of green.
And 16 people's lives were taken in that tragedy and 13 badly injured. And Logan Boulay had a severe brain injury, and he was taken to the hospital in Saskatoon on April 6th when it happened, but he died on April 7th. And he told his father just the summer before that he wanted to be an organ donor one day.
Yeah.
So the words just carried through. His father honored that, and all those lives, the organs were given to people across Canada. So
isn't that amazing?
I mean, and we were just talking about that the week before, right? With the guest, the special guest that we had, and how important it is to tell your family, right, and tell others what your wishes are at any age.
Yeah, that's
right. Because he was only young.
Yes, he was. He's 16, I believe.
They're all young.
No,
breaks my heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we are going to do something a little different with our quick chat portion. We all come up with this little idea of asking each other some really thought-provoking questions and what. And mind you, I read the ones you said, but they're not sticking in my head right now.
Okay, that's okay.
For sure. So they'll be like fresh and brand new. So we're going to give that a try and give you guys and our viewers a feel of where we're all at with that.
And what they might think as listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Judy, you go first.
Oh. Do I have a question here?
Or I can go first.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. I don't even know what my question was. Who am I?
I have 2, so if we have enough time, I'll ask both.
Okay.
All right, so my first one would be, what do you want people to feel when they're around you? What do you want people to feel when they're around you?
Myself. Okay. I want people to feel when they're around me, whether they know me or don't know me, that they can feel comfortable, that they can be secure, and I'm not going to be judgmental because I'm not a judgmental person, and that they can open up to me if they want in confidence, and I honor that. I honor confidentiality, and I want to make them feel like they're the most important person of the moment because they are. If they are listening to me giving advice or talking to me, I want them to know that they're number one.
No. For me, when I thought of that question is if you're meeting me for the first time, I know it's a little harder because I feel like there's a lot of people now because of this show. They feel like they know us, though we have never met them. And I want them to, when they first meet me, I want them to feel like they're accepted, that there's no judgment whatsoever, that they're totally welcome to say hi to me, stop me anywhere that they see me. And just say hi, and that, to have a little conversation is, I'm very open to meeting new people, and I love that, and I'd love to get to know more people.
What about you?
Well, I really thought about this one before I sent it to you guys. I want people to feel supported around me.
Okay.
So that, there is more, and I say this at work all the time, but there is more than enough sunshine for everybody. Yeah, my sunshine does not eclipse your sunshine, does not eclipse your sunshine, and you having sunshine does not take away from my sunshine. Yeah. And so
true.
I want people to feel like no matter what it is that they want to do, achieve, be, that they have my support and that I will help them in whatever way I can.
Beautiful. Love the answers. We're all kind of on the same page here.
No, exactly. That's just it.
Shoot for the second one, Vero.
Okay.
Might as well, you're on a roll now.
I'm on a roll now.
So I can't even think. Okay.
Yeah. So this one actually, this one actually really made me think about myself. And it is, what do you use to cope when you're feeling uncomfortable?
When I'm feeling uncomfortable, for me, automatically, I start chatting. Because I'll start talking more, I think, and, try to be funny. I think that's something that's an automatic for me, especially in my industry, talking to a number of different people in hairdressing and what their thoughts are on their color or this or that. Because everyone who sits in your chair, it's not an automatic instant bond.
No, that's right.
Yeah. Right? Kind of thing. There's so many different personalities. So when I feel like there's a little awkwardness or uncomfortable, I just start to ramble. I'm pretty sure I do. I'm sure there's clients out there that'll say that's exactly what she does. Just like I'm doing right now.
That's funny.
Just exactly that.
Okay, I'm trying to first of all think of an uncomfortable situation. Would you not agree that being in an elevator, either alone with a person or with like shoulder to shoulder with people, is one of the most uncomfortable things when you're going from, say, the first floor to the 23rd?
Yes.
I cannot stand being in elevators with people.
See, I just did that this past weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Right, being in a hotel.
I get really uncomfortable.
Do you?
So yes. I mean, you're all like, you don't know what nobody knows each other, so I'm not going to say, would you like a
drink? I
drink?
can't picture that being the thing that makes you uncomfortable.
Oh, totally. I hate being in elevators with people.
Interesting.
Because everyone's just standing so quietly, like a bunch of zombies, and no one knows each other, and you're breathing the same space.
Smile.
So I just think of something really like happy, and I think to myself, okay, hurry up. But I'm watching the floors change and not looking at anybody, or if there's just 3 of us, I might say, nice shirt, or do you want a drink? I have a martini here somewhere. I just find it uncomfortable, so I try to focus on something other than those people in the elevator.
You're kidding.
If it's one guy in the elevator, I'm really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like I turn like this.
Yeah.
Get out the next floor.
I would have never guessed that of you.
Me either.
No.
See what you learn.
I do not like it.
And it's been, we're 5 years together.
It's just elevators,
and we're just learning stuff.
I'm okay with people in big rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you are.
Where you can run and get away.
Yes,
What about you, Vera?
Well, it's funny because most people don't believe me when I say this because, of course, I do live TV every Monday and have no problems getting up in front of 1,000 people.
Yep.
Truly, it doesn't faze me at all.
No.
I'm really shy one-on-one in social situations. Very. Like I stop talking.
Meeting new people?
Yep. In social situations. At work, it's no big deal because I have work to talk about.
Right.
But in regular social situations, if I'm at a table of people I don't know, I shut right down. Yeah. So I'm working on that.
That's good.
I'm working on that. And so one of the things though is I smile, right? Because I think, okay, if because it's going through my head, am I going to say something, right? So I'll always smile. And then when, then I think, okay, what do I start to try and think of, okay, do you have any pets or,
Small talk.
Yeah, I try, but I'm not good at small talk.
That's when you jump in the elevator.
Weather. The weather is always a good go-to.
Yes.
I think, for people.
Okay, my question is, I'll start with, Audrey. What do you believe in life is keeping you from true happiness?
What's keeping me from true happiness?
Or
what would keep you
what
from?
What do you feel is keeping you from, like, being truly happy?
My land. I would have to say, I don't really feel that I'm not truly happy 100%. I feel like that is always a process, right?
Yeah.
That it's an ongoing thing. It's never a complete end. You can be, the process of itself of being successful, happy, truly happy, is a journey. Yep. It always is. And the part of the journey that I feel is so important is to be content where you're at that time.
Beautiful.
As you go along in this journey to be happy.
Good answer, Vera.
Good. So what's keeping me from being truly happy?
Like truly happy, feeling just every day.
Besides winning the 649.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
There's that.
No, and I mean, I'm happy in most aspects of my life, I will say, but I'm probably the culprit there. I'm probably keeping myself from not being as happy as I feel like I could be. Yeah. And I've come a long way in the last couple of years, but I feel like I stop myself from things.
That could make
Question.
you happy.
Question.
Yeah.
Question yourself. Second guess.
I do. And when you get stuck in your own head, right? Like you think,
I think
I'm
it's
not
the worst.
good enough, or
your own worst
I
enemy.
don't deserve that, or oh yes, of course I need to eat that third donut.
Don't go there with me today.
But those things, like I know last year when I was working really hard on being healthy and all that, I was feeling great, and this year has been a more of an up and down.
Okay.
So I'm not as good and as regimented, I guess, as I was last year. So I'm not as thrilled with myself right now. But it's my own. I did it.
Okay.
I did it to myself. I didn't gain back all the weight.
I think you're in the same place as a lot of people.
Yeah, I didn't gain back all the weight, but I did gain back
yeah.
some weight.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's just it. But it's not a complete loss.
It's not just about my weight. It's just in general.
Yourself?
What's keeping me from complete happiness, I feel, is that balance in my life. I am, like you girls, I do 101 things in 101 hours, okay?
Yes.
So my thing is I want to have a perfect home as far as organization goes. Not perfect, beautiful. Perfect as in everything's in its place, and that way I could clear my head to do the things I need to do. So it's a balance of wanting to do it all, but having to be home to keep it all going at home as well.
Yes,
exactly.
I would be truly happy if everything was just in its place for the best part.
There's something part of when you walk in a room and everything's, you're like,
in order.
When you know where you put something, you put it down and you know you can pick it up again.
Okay, so if your home's in order, your mind's in order.
Yeah.
That's how I work.
I feel there's a contentment and a satisfaction and a happiness that goes with that too.
I get that.
Okay, so we have, before we go to break and bring on our fabulous guests, my question is, if you could witness any event of the past, present, or future, what would it be? If you could witness any event of the past, present, or future.
Future. It's never ever going to happen, but this is my wish and my dream, as fake as it is.
If you could witness it, what would you want?
Okay, there are over 7 billion people in the world. And if those 7 billion people could come together, there'd have to be a place for those 7 billion people to be together. So it would be in Los Angeles, where there's 1,300 square kilometers that they could all fit in like this.
Okay.
I would want an apparition to be there, like a Holy Spirit or God, and to talk about and end world peace. And we could do it in LA. We could get all those 7.6 billion people.
You've done your research
people.
there.
No, I've
she
thought
knows
about
physically
it before.
to get 7 billion people to be standing in one area.
Shoulder
it
to
has
shoulder.
to be LA.
It's LA, 1,300 square miles.
Interesting.
1,300 square kilometers.
Wow.
Goodness
And
gracious.
get God to give them the message of stop what you're doing, all the badness that you're doing. The world's got to clean its act
Love
up
one
big
each other.
time.
Be kind.
And the world's the peace, the pedophilia, all of that
Bring
stuff.
peace to the world.
That's just it.
Interesting. I think I would have, I think I would have liked to have seen the coming down of the Berlin Wall.
Okay. We're still a little different in our
To be
answers.
there for that.
Yeah,
It would have been. That would have been a powerful moment.
Yeah,
I think.
I think that's probably.
Neat.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I will come to your event. I will very happily come to your event. Yeah, I will very happily come to your event. But I think I would have liked to have seen the end of what that Berlin Wall meant. Not so much the wall itself coming down, but what it meant in the division that it created.
Okay, well, thank you, ladies, so much. We are going to a quick break. We're going to bring on our first guest. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Have a Chat after the break. Welcome back to Have a Chat. Joining us now is our first guest, Brad Mcmillan, who is the owner and operator of the CrossFit Pound here. Hello, Brad. How are you?
I'm the very best. How are you, ladies?
Welcome.
Finally got to get you here. It's been a battle.
Yes, it has.
You're a busy
busy fella.
Several cancellations, snowstorm.
Snow stuff,
No.
right?
Snow got in the way.
Exactly.
Oh.
No, you are definitely going to be worth the wait. Now, first off, we're going to get you to chat a little bit about who you are, Brad. Tell us.
Okay, well, my name is Brad Mcmillan. I own CrossFit Pound in Eelground, New Brunswick, just up the road from here. I am a retired RCMP.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah, I did.
I knew.
Yeah. And, I'm born and raised in Eelground First Nation, and I went to school, first off in Douglastown. We moved to Douglastown for my first few years, then Harkins, and then MVHS. And, so that's how it kind of started off. I went to university, did some stuff there, and then I decided to join the RCMP in 1995, 96. And then I joined the RCMP, and it's a great career. I had a great time there. and I would recommend that to anybody. Good. And that went on for a while, but then I've got Crohn's disease, and so that forced me to retire from the RCMP. But I always tell this to people that I was blessed to have Crohn's disease because
you don't hear people say that very often.
Yeah, because that led me to coming to owning my own gym. And that's how that was. So if I didn't have Crohn's, I would be still in RCMP, which would have been good. I have no problem with that. But because of that, I transformed into and I become a gym owner, and that started in about 2007, 2008. And now it's 2019, so we're into our 11th year now.
Oh wow!
and
And
that's incredible.
Thank you very much.
So, from your health issues, is that where it started? You started researching your health issues and how to get healthier and better and look after that. That you started looking into fitness and things like that. Being part of the health.
I can tell you, no. Where that started was from my father, my father and my mother. The greatest gift that they ever gave me was the gift of fitness.
Oh, wow.
Totally. And I was into working out. As a little boy, and yes, so both my mother and my father, they were really, really into fitness. They were running, lifting weights, and all that kind of stuff. I'm at the old Fitness Warehouse down above Stedman's. I went there, got sick on my first day. Oh, no. Yes, I remember that day vividly. Got sick to my stomach because I worked a little too hard. Yeah. But yeah, so right from an early age, my parents really instilled at the fitness part. So I've always been into that, and actually, I ran my first gym when I was about 14.
Wow!
Yes, because
14.
One of my this is a hashtag true story.
Oh.
I love that. One of my mentors and a person I look up to a lot is my uncle Raj Rogstein, Chief Raj Rogstein, right?
Yes.
At that time, he was a chief in Illground, and he allowed me and my friends to have a little back section of the band hall. Have a little gym, so we all kind of gather our own equipment, put it back there, and I ran it as a young lad there. Wow. So that was my first kind of foray into fitness business, right?
So a little introduction to it.
Yeah, that's how that went, and so that was a pretty cool thing. And so leading off, so from that on, I was into coaching and teaching, and I just loved learning about fitness. It just was like, it totally engulfed me. That and baseball. And so those things, and that has always been there, and it has always stuck, and has never veered away. So again, I can really thank my parents for that.
You've never known them really, truly, was like to be unfit.
No, I couldn't say that. I tell you, when I was about 13 or 14, I was a pretty chubby fella. Okay. Yeah. So and here's the reason why.
Ate lots of brownies.
McDonald's. I went to McDonald's. McDonald's is
when the first Douglastown.
That's right. It first opened up. I went to McDonald's a whole lot. So for about 12, 13 years old, I was a pretty chubby fella, and but then I just started working out more, and then I just really loved that feeling, and then really from then on, I would say that for the most part, I've been pretty fit and pretty active.
Well, to be an RCMP officer, you would have had a fitness test as well, right?
Oh, jumping, that was a big part of it, and going out to Regina was a great experience, but being in shape before you're going there,
definitely.
It was another something you have to worry about. So so I really thoroughly enjoyed that. Yes.
So your gym that you have now, you said so you've been open for about 11 years, which is amazing. And CrossFit is a particular type of place. Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means to be a CrossFit?
Okay.
place?
Well, CrossFit in and of itself means that you're going to be awesome.
Okay.
That's straight up. There's no doubt about that.
Just right there.
But it has a bit of a negative connotation. Sometimes people think that CrossFit is a little bit.
Oh, yes, there it is.
Oh, yes. It's a little bit too much for them.
Okay.
But it really, really, really is not. CrossFit is built for absolutely everybody, and it's scalable to any fitness level, from the complete beginner to an advanced athlete. So it really, CrossFit, it's all about moving better and eating better. Okay. And if you can do that, you will have a better life. There's no doubt about it. And our coaches at our gym, that's what we strive to make you the best version of yourself. Mm-hmm. And really that's what it comes down to. And it can be a little intimidating, just the word CrossFit, for a lot of people, but overall, once you get to our gym, our coaches will take over. It's just a matter of getting through the front door. And once you get to the front door, we will take care of the rest. And you will see within 1 month of just giving a good solid effort, your life will change so dramatically for the better.
It's interesting because you say you just have to get through the front door.
Yes.
Getting to the front door is the hardest part.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. No doubt
Getting
about it.
to the front door.
To the front door.
To
Yeah.
the parking lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Like convincing, it's that mental
That
thing.
mindset.
Yes.
Convincing yourself
True.
that you can and should do it.
Can and should do it.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
that's it.
Because you could think about it this way too. It's like if you're not, when you think about fitness and working out in CrossFit or any other gym, you think of like working out really hard and all that kind of stuff, which is that's a part of it. But it's really about being the best version of yourself and extending the quality of your life.
Of course.
So if you're having a hard time and you're say 30 years old and you're having a hard time moving around, you're weaker, you're deconditioned, what's going to happen when you're 40?
Exactly.
And when you're 50? And when you're 60? It's just, if you don't know something
gonna
about it now, it's just going to get worse as the time goes on.
So true.
Yeah, so at our gym, that's what we strive to have people to get them better,
Yeah.
and to do it that way. And if you think of fitness in its basic terms, it's just about moving better.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to. Squat. Every human being needs to be able to squat,
Yeah.
deadlift, and press.
And you can see people skipping there
I know.
earlier. They were
Yep.
doing jump
Exactly.
rope, which
Oh, yes.
is, I used to do that as a child. Look at this one going.
There's
oh.
that's one of my superstars right there.
Oh my gosh,
Sandra, she
look
works
how
at the Pizza
fit.
Light.
Look
She,
how toned.
Sandra, I don't want to say too much about her age, but she's
No, she's
in
over
her 60s.
25.
Yeah.
She is a rock star.
Wow. Look at her.
Unreal, unbelievable. There's a part of her gym. Yeah, so she comes to the gym about 4 or 5 times a week, and
Yeah.
that fitness is a journey. That is totally it. It is a journey because it's never ending.
Right.
It's not like you're saying at the end of 6 weeks I'm done.
No.
Okay,
No.
I
Good.
lost
That's
20
it.
pounds and I'm
Yeah.
done. It's never that,
No,
right?
it's a lifelong.
So yeah, that is totally it.
I'd
so,
have to say, like years ago, it wasn't that long ago, but I had started because I had never ever stepped foot in a gym, and
Yeah.
that was my first gym that I actually went to
Yeah, that's right.
religiously
Yeah, I
for
forgot
2
about that.
years.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
For 2 years is where that started for me. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And trying different things because different things work for everybody.
Yeah.
But I definitely
Yeah.
believe that CrossFit there is definitely a place for
Oh, yes.
everybody there.
Yep.
Because like you said, the negative part of it is CrossFit, super intense. You go in, you go
Yes.
push yourself beyond your limits
Yep.
in that. No, you work at your limit and
No.
you get better each time.
Yes, no doubt about
Right?
it. And really, I can tell you, I guess my biggest mistake as far as the business owner for my gym, I kind of really espoused that way of thinking through all my Facebook posts and it was all like rah like that there, and I'm thinking, okay, that's probably you're
Scared
turning
a
off a lot
few
more people
people.
than bringing it on, right? So
Yes.
and it really was not that, because I'm going to tell you, our average member is between 40 and 50 female.
Average member.
The average member,
Really?
no
Yeah.
doubt about it. I would say it's about 70% female, 30% male, right around the 65, 35. 40 years old, a professional person with kids or grandkids.
Yeah.
And we have, our youngest is, actually we just did CrossFit Kids Backs. Our youngest is 4. And our oldest would be 81. And all fitness levels from a complete beginner to a really, really advanced athlete like Logan,
Yeah,
who is
of
a
course.
phenomenal
Yeah.
athlete,
I'm
right?
so
he's
proud of him, my
yes,
nephew. I have to give a shout out
unreal.
to my nephew, Logan
Really?
Power. He's
Yeah.
doing phenomenal,
Awesome,
isn't he?
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he really just started with us, and he's taken over. Like he's going to be a superstar.
I don't even want to stand beside him when he's
I
in my
know.
house.
He's
like,
I've seen him in the
yeah,
gym.
he's pretty
Fierce,
jacked there. So,
fierce.
yeah, and yeah, so there.
how many staff do you have all told?
We have 9 coaches in total, 3 male coaches and 6 female coaches, and we're all trained and certified in CrossFit, and we love coaching, we love helping people, and it's about helping people. And really, I'm going to tell you my greatest feelings when a person comes up to me and says to me, Brad, you changed my life. And I'm like, wow,
Those words
that
are
is
powerful.
unbelievable. And it really, really is.
Yes.
And there's people that have come to my gym that, we've cured their diabetes. We've cured chronic diseases. Strange.
And
but that,
depression too. It lifts you up
Oh
when you're
my
feeling
God.
endorphins
Yeah,
kicking
yes,
in and
no
you're
doubt
pumped
about
up.
it. So really, what I learned over I'm 47 now. I just turned 47 on March 5th. When I first started working out, it was all about kind of getting like a male
Yeah.
thing, like strong and all that kind of stuff. But as I know now, and I really, really espouse this to people, it's much more your brain and how you're feeling overall, right? And
Right.
nothing about the weight scale or what you're lifting on, how much
No.
weight you're lifting. It's about how you're feeling. And we want everybody to come into the gym and make it their best hour of the day. So regardless of what happens throughout your day, as soon as you walk in the door, you're going to have a great day.
You're on a good
Your day will automatically be better. And at the end of the hour, everybody's high-fiving each other, and it's just a big, it's really
One
awesome.
big happy family.
Yes.
There you go, Veronique.
It's
That'll
like,
get you in the parking lot.
Adult fitness fun. Really, really is.
But you're that type of person anyway. You're a motivator. Just listening to you speak gets me
wow.
hyped up.
I know we're all going there.
Like I'm energized.
My daughter, my girls have gone there
Yeah,
quite a
yes.
few times there, and she brought her younger brother, who's 17. And
Yeah.
I have to say, because your story about throwing up your first time
Oh.
in the gym, that's exactly what happened to Reese. He come right outside because he wanted to push himself
Yes.
and to
And
his
that,
limits and stuff like
that
that.
can happen because in the group atmosphere you get kind of
Competitive.
Yes,
Competitive.
Right? So
Yes.
that for the most part is really good, but sometimes
But
you
you
can
have to
kind of
listen to
you
your
got to
body,
relax a
overdo
little bit,
it.
right? Yes.
No, that's just
doubt about
it. So,
Yeah.
and of course, his younger sister was there. Mommy, did you know Reese got sick when he left the CrossFit? And I'm like, I have no doubt in my mind that was his own doing for pushing himself beyond what.
Yes, and sometimes too when you're working out like from our view of functional fitness,
Yeah.
it's a little bit different than working out in a like the way you're normally working out.
Yes.
So it can kind of hit you kind of fast a little bit, but overall, what we believe is that it's the quickest, most fun, safe, effective way to getting fitness in your life.
Yeah.
And then that plus good eating, just eating real food,
Yeah.
you'll be
No,
set.
that's just it.
So you have many classes throughout the day.
Yes.
What time do you open in the morning, and what time's your last class in the day?
We open at 5:45 in the morning, and we have 7 classes a day. And each class is led by a coach. So each class is an hour long exactly. So the first class begins at 5:45, and the last class is at 7:30 at night. And they have classes throughout the whole day, right? And we run 2 programs in our gym. One's called Metcon, and one's called CrossFit. They're very, very similar. Slight differences in lifting weights a little bit, but overall they're great to get moving and get sweating and just feeling good about your life. And that's
We want
really
you to
it.
bring up, because we were talking just before the show, your gym builder. Now,
Yes.
this is something new that you've taken on to help promote
Yes.
and advertise
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
gym.
I actually, the
So
Gym
what
Builder
is
it's a marketing company out of the United States actually that they just help you just bring in more people, right?
Right.
So the gym business in and of itself, as some people know, it's not all about you just can't open up and expect people to kind of run in, right?
No.
So
No.
it is about marketing and stuff like that. So I use Gym Builder to help me out. And they did help out in the last several weeks with a 6-week challenge,
Yeah.
and they brought in like a lot of people. So we got like close to 40 new people
Oh, wow.
just joined the last 2 weeks, and then we had a great big success with our CrossFit kids there yesterday. We had 24 kids roaming around,
Nice,
and it
Brad.
was unbelievable. It was so cool that just to see that many people. And the coolest thing about it is that so they're all working out in one room, and then all their parents are working out in the other room. So so it's pretty cool. So they're in there. The kids are getting fitness, and their parents are getting fitness all at the same time. And what I know is this year, if you increase your fitness, you will increase the quality and the awesomeness in your life.
It's so true.
Guaranteed.
We read about that. We hear
It
it.
really
so
is.
we
Guaranteed.
talk about it.
Guarantee that.
And by the way, congratulations on your place.
Yes,
You're
yes,
a fitness
I
role
did.
model. You totally are.
I did fail to mention that I did get second place in Grandmasters, which is a
Yes.
45 and
Awesome.
up category, and I actually placed third in the Masters division, which is 35 and up.
Okay.
there you go.
Yes.
So
Audrey, look
exactly.
out.
So I got
That's
a couple
awesome.
of new medals to put in our little. And my husband, I do want to mention.
Yes.
Yes,
He
Billy.
actually he's been competing for years, and this time around he actually won first place in both his categories.
Nice.
Well, then
That's
kudos
awesome.
to him
So,
too.
and he's been, I have to say, like, to go back and go back and go back and always manage to place, but never, ever, ever get that first place.
Aw.
But, stick with it and
And you'll
show
get
up
there.
because you never know
Yep.
who else is going to show up.
That's right.
So,
It's true.
he
Yeah.
sticks
Hard
to
work
it
pays off.
and
Totally.
it
Yeah,
does.
Yes, my
For
that
sure.
is that is exactly my
Hard work
my
pays off.
favorite motto I've ever heard, and that I espouse that to everybody. Hard
Yeah,
work pays
it
off.
does.
Like hard work. Just think of something that you truly worked hard at that you did not get rewarded for. It doesn't happen. If you work hard,
Yes.
truly
Yeah.
work hard,
Yes.
you will be rewarded for it tenfold.
You
You
should
know
be a
what
Hard
motivational
work.
coach.
Well, and you know what the toughest, and because I work hard at work,
Yep.
right? And I volunteer a lot and I work hard. It's hard to convince myself
Yep.
that the work that I do at work, right,
Yep.
and I work hard until I get it done, that I need to do that for myself too.
Yes.
It's very hard to
I
convince
know.
Oh
myself
yes, that is it.
We
'Cause
think
I
we're
have
being
no problem-
selfish.
Yeah,
we think
there's
we're being
a
selfish.
time and the place to be selfish, and being
It's a hard-
selfish,
it's- yeah, it's
doing it
hard.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Because really, it's like when when you're flying in a plane, they have that
The oxygen mask,
yes. How do you help yourself? You got to help yourself first before you can help your next person. So it's very much like that, right? So the one cool thing about the gym atmosphere and the gym itself and our gym, as soon as you walk in the door, you are there for yourself.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter your kids. It's your time to make yourself better.
Oh,
and then you make yourself better.
We think I'm right.
Yes. And then once you make yourself better, you're going to be a better hostess here, better at your work. Grandfather,
It'll
whatever it is.
It'll ripple effect, and everybody will benefit.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. That's guaranteed.
We want to thank you so much,
you're
Brad,
awesome.
for coming on and sharing your energy with us and your gym and all that information. I would imagine they have a Facebook page, so you can check Brad out at the CrossFit Pound. For more information in Eel Brown, definitely, and get yourself back on the road to being fit and healthy. So we'll be back after the break with another great guest. Don't go away.
There you go.
Back with more Have a Chat. Joining us now is our next guest, the beautiful and lovely Lisa McCormick. Hello, Lisa.
Hi there. Hello, Lisa.
Welcome.
Hello, thank you. At that.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Before we get to the main part of what we're here to talk to you about, first we'd like to hear a little bit about yourself.
Well, sure. Yes, I'm Lisa McCormick, as I mentioned. And I'm a little nervous today, but I'm going to get over that with you.
Don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
We're in it together, Lisa. Don't worry about it.
Oh, sure. Okay. I'm a real estate agent here in Miramichi. I've been in real estate for 16 years. And prior to that, I owned a health club with my husband, Corey.
Oh, that's
fitness.
More fitness.
More fitness. I know.
Everything's fitness today.
I know. I have to get back to the gym. I know that.
Yeah. And I have a sweet little boy. He's 5 years old, named Chance.
He's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yep.
I love the pictures.
He's he's just the light of our life. Yeah, he's pretty special. So, and then besides that, I'm mostly working all the time and just being a mom and spending time with family. That's pretty much my thing.
But you are huge in real estate. Maybe you want to share some of that background because you just recently received a Lifetime Achievement Award.
She's too young for that.
And
I know, you're looking at her and going, she's been doing it for 16 years. Everybody was like,
A Lifetime Achievement Award and a Platinum Award you recently got in Halifax.
Yes.
And you're so young. So what do you do the rest of your life? Just keep on achieving.
I just have to keep working and just helping others.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
That's huge.
Thank you.
No, I think
it sounds
some
like
people
a
pass
retirement,
off what real estate is and selling someone a home, or you know what I mean. That it's not really that, but these are big life decisions that people are making to sell their home or to buy a home, and you help them through that process. It's not just that simple.
That's right, and I just feel so honored when people do choose me because there's lots of options. There's other real estate agents. It's a very competitive business, but when people choose me as a real estate agent, I just feel like I take them on like as if I'm buying or selling the property, and I really love to see them making their dreams come true, really, because it's all different situations. Some of them are happy situations, some are sad.
I know.
But I love either way if you can help them. Like I just love that feeling at the end when they're happy.
You're
and
top
they're pleased.
producer too.
Well, I'm top producer, and I top producer at my company.
Yes.
And then I have a team as well that works with me.
Great team.
I've been doing it for
Team
16
McCormick?
years. Yes.
And your motto is again?
Yep. We love what we do, and we'd love to jump for you.
And we love to jump for you.
I always
You'll
love those
see.
videos.
Yeah, so you'll see it just evolved from having excitement about selling properties, and when I get listings and sales, I go to the property and jump. And sometimes my clients want to jump.
Right.
They look forward to that. Like sometimes they'll say, "When can we do our jump?" It's kind of funny when they ask me that.
They're actually looking forward.
I
to
know,
that
and I
part.
thought, geez, it's kind of cool that they're looking forward to that. So.
So that's just it.
And it's fun when the kids get into it too.
The one big thing that we're here to talk to you about is the book.
Beautiful.
Oh, yes.
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 No. You read the name of it because Audrey's terrible, and I'll probably not do a really good job.
Well, I believe
What's
it's called Carpe Diem, which means seize the day.
Seize the
And
day.
it's about reclaiming your dream, ignite your passion, and live your purpose.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. So
okay.
this is your book, or this is?
Well, I was asked to author in this book. It's a collaboration of 24 authors across Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was asked last fall to write in this book, write a chapter.
So now, were you an author before this?
Not at all. No,
Okay.
this is my first
Okay.
experience in actually being published.
No.
I've always
Okay.
written, for my own personal, just my
So
journals
you are
and
someone
poetry.
who journals. This writing is something that you do.
I've always loved that and writing poetry, but I've never shared it with anybody except you'll see in my book, my sisters snuck into my journal as a teenager. But other than that, nobody's ever really read my words.
So tell us how that all came about. So
Yes.
who was it that approached you?
Yes, well, the lady that looks after this, Paula Moran, she is a motivational speaker and an author herself, and she approached me last fall to write a chapter. And at first I was kind of wowed by it and excited, and then a little nervous because I thought, just at the time of my life, my dad had just passed, and I didn't think it was a good time to be, writing and for public public use or public purposes. But and then after we discussed kind of where I was at the time, and she said, why don't you write it as a tribute to your dad? And that just touched me, and I was like, I'm going to do that. And then I got excited about it because I thought, what could I do for my dad, just to honor him. And I don't want to.
You're not going to get emotional.
I'm not going to get emotional.
I'm going to get
Yes,
on the positive swing here and talk about that. I purchased your book, of course, because I'm all about that. Again, it's reclaiming your dream, igniting your passion, living your purpose, which Audrey and Veronique and I do, and you do every day. And your chapter was uplifting. It was true to Lisa. It made me feel that you wrote just the way I see you in every day. You're positive, and you put your best face forward. Even if you're having a bad day, you always put that smile on, Lisa. I think that's why you do so well in sales, too, because you're very, very positive. So your chapter, I'm not going to give anything away other than yours is entitled, Love is My Why. And it goes on to talk about your why and the impression and the love that you had from your parents and what they meant to you growing up, and that your father ultimately acquired a brain disease, which you might just want to talk on, and don't get emotional because our viewers might be dealing with that themselves.
We've all had a moment or two, though.
Yes, and someone might need to know
Yeah.
this information about the actual brain disease that he had.
Yes, 16 years ago, my dad was diagnosed with cerebral amyloid angiopathy, and it's a brain disease which causes the protein in your brain to stop the blood flow in your brain, which causes brain damage.
Oh, wow.
I hope I've described that properly.
Bleeding or stroke.
Well, it can cause strokes and seizures, which
Yes.
ended up happening to him last
Now this
year.
was 16 years ago.
Yes, and he was maintained. Yeah, and he was maintained really well
Okay.
all of that time. Once it was diagnosed, at first they thought he had a brain tumor, and they did a brain biopsy and things like that, and that's how they discovered that he had this disease. So at that time, he was maintained well on his medications for all that time, and just last January, it kind of started with some episodes, and he started having, strokes and seizures.
A lot more
and
complications to it.
yes,
So
yes,
the
and
amyloids
couldn't-
are the proteins that are they hard in the arteries in the brain?
Well, possibly. I'm not real sure of all the scientific terminology and
But
part of
ultimately he
it. But
lived
it
how
causes
long?
the brain to have brain damage. And,
Right.
and then those parts of the brain, don't work properly, and it can cause.
So he
these
lived
other
16
things.
years with that.
Oh yes, yeah, and he
Wow.
was really great. He did really good. If you hadn't, unless you spent a lot of time with him, you would not notice. It was mostly like his short-term memory and things like that. But no, he was great in doing everything around the house, and with mom and
Pretty
still
active.
selling his Christmas trees, and just slow down a little bit. Just slow things down a little bit. Things have got a little more. Just more challenging, I guess. But
Yeah,
he was.
his paralysis started to become a little more apparent, did they?
Well, no, he didn't have paralysis. No,
Oh, okay.
he was still able to do everything.
Oh, was he?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, he lived a good life, 16 years
Yes.
with the diagnosis, and he was doing really well. It just last year it started to get
Okay.
more severe.
No,
Yeah.
that's just it. So that was
Yeah.
your inspiration when she went and was telling you about doing it for a tribute for your father.
Yes.
Give us a little insight on what it took for you to sit down and write your chapter. Is it something that you just went ahead and just blah, 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 wrote it right
Pretty
out?
much.
Or did it take, oh,
yeah,
it
I kind of just wrote it. because like I always journal, so I'm used to writing how I feel, and I do that
Your
almost
thoughts and your
daily in
feelings,
my
yeah.
thoughts. So I more or less almost just kind of wrote it almost like my journal,
Okay.
and then just took some excerpts from my journal, you
Oh,
know,
neat.
Came from
and
the heart.
then and I of course it had to be edited. My writing was quite a bit longer, and it had to be cut, you know.
Sure.
Yes.
But I had just kind of spilled it all out there, and within a day or two, and then it was just again like the editing and moving things around a little bit, just suggested by the editor.
Did you find that
And,
process tough, the editing part, because it would have been so personal for you? Everything
Yes.
that you said. Did you find it tough when they said, "Well, no, we're going to cut out that paragraph"? Or
Well, some of it, and actually a couple parts I said, can we just leave it in, because it was really kind of part like that I really wanted to emphasize with my dad, you know. So of course I knew what parts were more important than the
Yes.
editor, and they were really obliging to that, and some of it, you know, was still cut, but that's okay, because they had to. I wasn't writing a book; I was writing the chapter. Right?
Yeah, you just got the chapter this time.
yeah.
We'll save the book for next time.
Maybe, you know. So anyway, they were wonderful to work with. It was a really efficient process, and
Well, you do such honor to your family, not only your parents, but your husband and your son, and the people that have made you become the better person that you are today. And I love that it's all about love and support. One of your lines in here reads, "Ultimately, every child wants to make their parents proud." And that's how I feel too. It doesn't matter that I'm in my over 30. I still want to have my parents' approval, mom and dad.
Yes.
Just in case you don't know.
No matter how old we
No
get.
matter how old they are, how
No,
old we are.
we
It's
get.
like, are
No,
you
it's
proud that I
true.
did so well in the show this week? And of course
No.
they're proud of you, Audrey. You rocked it. You owned it. And that's
Thank
their
you.
girl. And they're
No.
really rooting for you, as we were saying, look what
Yeah.
a girl did. Just as,
No, that's
as your
just it.
mom's saying, and your father has been so proud of this book.
It's true.
No,
and I mean, that was so important to me, because they've given me so much, and they sacrificed so much,
Yes.
all of their lives, to give to me. And just the simple things, you know, like I said in the book, I mean, we weren't wealthy financially, but I never lacked for anything. And
Exactly.
we had, Mom would give us shoes before, like buy us shoes,
No,
and she maybe
exactly.
didn't have any new shoes
right,
herself,
good
and
people.
just
No,
things like that.
That's just
and
it.
just I've seen
So
that
now
all my
this
life.
book is launching.
Yes.
So let's talk about the launch.
Where can they get
So
it?
where and when is that happening?
Yes, so on April 11th, this Thursday,
Okay.
at Mill Cove Coffee from 4 to 7, I'm going to be there with the books. And
Right.
the
So
reason
autograph?
I could autograph it if
She
you want.
autographed mine.
I did. I wanted them to do.
Very nice.
And I could definitely do that. And the money, the reason I'm doing that is I'm selling them for $20, and the money, the proceeds raised will be going to a brain research
Isn't that
in my
amazing?
dad's name. So
And your dad, so he'll be so honored.
yes. So I hope I
Perfect.
can
So definitely.
sell
So
them.
the Mill Cove this Thursday from 4 to 7?
4 to 7, I'll
4
be
to
there.
7,
yes.
you'll be there.
Yeah,
Mill
and if-
Cove's on the square in Newcastle,
That's
in
right.
case people do not know.
Yes, and some people have pre-ordered them, and I'll have them there for those people. And if they can't make it, of course, I can put some aside. Or
So all of it's
Yeah,
going to
so-
brain research.
yes,
That's
No,
admirable,
That's just it.
Lisa.
The back of the
Thank
book
you.
has a picture of all the different
Yeah, there's
all the
24
different authors that have a clip. Now, are they all local to New Brunswick, or are
no,
they
they're
all
across Canada.
Oh, across
Yeah.
Canada,
Yeah.
and they asked you
Yeah.
to be part of
Yes.
that.
Yes,
That's a big deal.
It was
is.
exciting.
It's a really
Yes.
big
honor.
deal.
Yes, I'm honored. I'm excited. It was like it was meant to be. I always believe in things are meant to be, and I think it was just timing. You know, that was meant to be for Dad to do that for him, and just
No,
a
and it's
thank
funny
you to
that you
him.
didn't. You were thinking initially when they asked you that this is not a good time.
No.
Yes,
But it turned out to be exactly the right time.
It was meant
that's
to
right.
be.
Yeah,
You know?
that's right.
So
That's
for
just
anyone
it,
that's
yeah.
interested in this book, there are very many women writing about various topics in their chapter, and I'm just going to pull one out here. It's by Stephanie Allen, and her chapter is Leaders Inspire Potential, Not Suppress.
More than enough sunshine for everybody.
Exactly.
that's right.
Going back to that
That's so
again.
true.
So there's something
There
for
is.
everybody to read that's going to appeal to that person in this book.
Well, I hope so.
I think
Yes.
so.
I think actually that would probably be a lovely graduation gift for my daughter who's about to graduate from university.
True enough.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
It
where she's
truly
looking
is.
to start her life and she questions what path she should take, and
Well, that's
you know
right.
what I mean, and to have this many successful women, you know, putting their thoughts forward to, you know,
I
how to
still
make it all
question
come
my
to
path too.
Yes.
And
Well,
that's
my book
okay.
kind of, my chapter
That's
kind
okay.
of talks of that too, knowing your true why and how my why's always evolved over my life. And it wasn't until I was 40 that I actually really truly knew what my why was, and that's when I wanted
Isn't
to be
that
a
funny?
mother.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I
that,
said, and then now that I have chance, my heart is so peaceful because I did follow my heart, and it was meant to be again, and it's just about impacting others' lives with positivity and making a difference. Like, you don't know, just one moment with somebody could change their whole life. Or
something you say to that person.
Why? Here's a
That's
personal
right.
question for everybody on the panel, just from what you just said. Why do you think that is, that when we get close to 40 or we turn 40 is when we're a lot more confident to knowing the why or the purpose, or have that little bit more, why does it take so long? Or why is it in our 20s and 30s it's more of a scramble to figure that out?
I think we're just never as mature as we should be when we're even 20 and 30, even though we're young adults. And young women at 30, we're still not totally into ourselves as far as security goes. That's how I felt until I found myself. Until I found that I was an achiever. I knew that I did things all my life that were successful, but it was when I was married, I guess, settled down, looked at myself, what I had accomplished, it took me that long to realize I did really well.
No,
I did. I was proud of myself.
Because that's what I want to pass on to my
your
girls.
experiences,
Not that they would waste their 20s and 30s, but how do I pass along that? Because, of course, I sit there and go, oh, I wish I had half the confidence that I have now, then as I do now, right?
Yeah.
And how to pass that on to them so that they don't, miss
well,
out.
but I think it comes with
maturity.
With living and knowing when things are really rough or when they're really good. And I had a great time in my 20s. My God, I had a good time in my 20s. That's all I did. I had such a good time in my 20s. And I don't regret it, though. I don't. And it's funny, I worked with some really amazing young women, and one of them that I worked with just turned 30, and she said she had the opposite experience to me. She was, married at 21, and she has 3 beautiful children, and she just turned 30. But we're at the same place in our career, which is odd. But I don't regret those 20s that I had, and not that she doesn't regret hers either. But it's just different paths and different experiences, and I'm glad that I went through all that I went through. For the most part, some of it I wish I'd get rid of it, but that's okay.
Just be thankful there was no internet.
Oh, all the time. But it's so I think as you said, it's living through it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And to just believing in yourself. I'm very confident now in my late 40s, but as a young woman, I wasn't so much. And although I didn't maybe show that to others, but you always have those doubts inside.
Exactly.
But it was to realize that it's not how others see you, it's how you see yourself.
That's
so
just it. To come into that
realizing
light. We want to thank you so much.
Yes.
Before we go, our show is just about over. She wanted to mention this in.
The bookmark is in honor of Keith Preston. It's from you, right? Quote Lisa, I noticed while he was selling the trees that it was not about making money, it was about the way he treated people. He had a genuine smile, and for him, it was all about having a happy customer.
And that's your dad. Thank you again, Lisa,
Thank
for joining
you.
us today
Beautiful
and sharing
Thank
your
you
story.
so much.
We wish you the best of luck. Please show up at Milko this Thursday evening from 4 to 7. Thank you for watching us here at Have a Chat. Have a great week. We'll see you next Monday.